close off this section on thermoregulation, it's important to touch on some differences from individual to individual. So thermoregulation is not a cookie cutter approach. Everyone responds a little bit differently. The first one is sex-based differences. So on average, women have lower sweat rates compared to men. However, they also typically initiate sweating at slightly higher temperatures, generally relying more on vasodilation for early heat dissipation. So a little bit difference in the natural responses. And then certainly some differences in the influence of hormones and estrogen and progesterone levels and how they impact thermoregulation. And again, this is also going to vary from person to person, but there are trends of differences between sex in how thermoregulation functions and how the body responds. One of the most predominant variables for the effectiveness of thermoregulation and cooling is actually aerobic fitness. So people who are more aerobically fit generally have superior thermoregulatory capacity and a higher tolerance for heat. Building off that heat acclimation and acclimatization, this is a strategy that can be used, and people who are acclimated to the heat spend a lot of time doing heat train or sauna exposure, or just based on geography, tend to be a lot more capable at managing heat and thermoregulating, whereas individuals who are not exposed to those different environments, who have not trained with it, who are not, let's say, heat trained, may struggle more greatly. So this is for specific professionals that are either, or athletes training in specific environments or training for events in specific environments. Doing a heat acclimation protocol for 1 to 3 weeks is really beneficial, and there's a lot of really great literature on that. We're not going to go too deep in this course, but there's a lot of ways that by exposing yourself over time, 1 to 2 to 3 weeks, your body can start to compensate a little bit better. And there are differences in the physiological responses to heat and exercise. Some other influential factors include body composition. So higher body fat increases insulation. Having a lower body fat is advantageous for thermoregulation. Age also makes a difference, and this is, a complex web of physiological systems and responses. And then, of course, hydration. So being dehydrated impairs thermoregulation. Certainly wanting to maintain proper hydration levels is critical if you want to effectively manage temperature. So the big takeaways here in this section: individuals are all different, so it's not a one size fits all as far as managing heat in different workload or environmental conditions. Considering what these differences are from person to person, building up a plan, exposing your athletes or individuals to heat stress, building up that acclimation, getting used to it, and then also having measures and having variables in place to evaluate how the body is responding, how the individual is responding, to ensure that they are properly prepared for whatever work you are doing.